If you've taken a stroll around Ithaca in the past few years, you've probably noticed that some of the electrical boxes look a bit different. One is painted to look like a block of cheese, complete with repelling mice, and another is painted to look just like a robot. Well, these are two of the 21 electrical boxes around the city that got a bit of a facelift a few years ago, thanks to the artists who participated in the 21 Boxes project. That project was sponsored by the Ithaca Public Art Commission, or PAC, a group whose goal is, quote, to fuse creativity, artwork, and design in our everyday lives, and for the enrichment of our beautiful city. They are looking to achieve this mission by sponsoring another 21 Boxes project in Ithaca this spring. And here to talk about that project and the other work the commission does are two of the commission members, Samantha Hillson and Jason Otero. Thank you both for joining me this evening.
Thank you very much.
And just to start us off, what is public art? Are we just talking about kind of statues and plaques here?
That is a very big conversation. Public art means a lot of different things to a lot of different people. But one of the things that we try to do is embrace public art in all of its manifestations. So that's everything from murals to sculptures, sound installations, so audio, visual, large, small.
And I think a big part of public art also is for it to engage people, and so it really can create these spontaneous interactions among the public, and that's what's really exciting about it, and that it really makes people think about what's in front of them and hopefully talk about it.
So what kind of work does the PAC do specifically to support this kind of art?
There's a lot of outreach, so we try to do our best to bridge the gap between the work we're doing sort of within the city and the public. So there's a lot of sort of education, there's a lot of creating sort of visibility and initiatives.
I mean, just maybe to touch more on that, like what kind of collaborations actually have to happen maybe within the different parts of government, within different organizations in the community to, say, make a project happen?
So we work really closely with the city planning department specifically, and then we also work closely with Downtown Ithaca Alliance. They're pretty instrumental in making things happen as well and promoting what's going on with public art. So so there's a lot of different players.
I mean, do you find then that the community is pretty receptive to this kind of thing?
Absolutely. I would say, I don't know an exact percentage, but well over 90% of the community has really embraced not only 21 Boxes, but a good percentage of our programs. And 21 Boxes is probably the most visible of our programs recently, but the public embracing of our projects has been outstanding, and the feedback is always fantastic. And even some of the feedback that may be more critical is generally very positive and about increasing awareness or finding ways to improve the program. So it's been fantastic.
Yeah, and I'm interested, maybe if one of you could touch on some of the more critical feedback that you've received from the work that the PAC has done.
Well, like I said before, the program is pretty broad. I mean, how people interpret public art is open. And so I think sometimes the criticism comes back, maybe it's content related. Sometimes it's formal. I don't like seeing that kind of thing. I think generally we've done a very good job of ensuring that the taste is that the work is not offensive.
Yeah, and one of our members that's been on PAC for a long time, she said to me that public art provides something for everyone, but maybe not everything for everyone. So I just wanted to put that out there too.
No, I think that's good to keep in mind, right? Because we're talking about something that at the end of the day is quite subjective, right? Artistic kind of taste, artistic value. And you mentioned earlier, Jason, that maybe 21 Boxes was one of the more visible projects that PAC has kind of backed. What are some of the other projects in the community that PAC has had a hand in?
We helped with the old library wall. I don't know if you saw that project that happened throughout last summer. That was a commission with an artist named Jay Stukes. And that, again, was a very visible wall for us and gained a lot of public positive comment. That was probably the most recent. We're working on a wall right now. I think it's started going through the conversation with the city and county building. So that's a project that's about to kick off soon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so a lot of murals. There's been this ongoing mural project around town that has brought artists from around the world to to create murals on city walls, so that's been very exciting. And then PAC also consults, I guess, with the Art in the Heart program that Downtown Ithaca Alliance puts on that brings in a lot of sculptures, especially to downtown, so that's a different medium.
So maybe if we can move into talking a little bit more about the 21 Boxes project. I mean, I've only been in Ithaca for a few years, and I think when I first got here, this was kind of right when this was happening, and I could see all these people out here painting these electrical boxes, and I'm like, okay, what's going on here? But it was also kind of exciting to see. So what was the real inspiration for that project to begin with?
Well, you bring up a good point, and that is that you saw the artist creating. And I think one of the goals we wanted to do was not just have these boxes show up one day. We really wanted to give the public the opportunity to see art being created. And the entire process was very transparent. Meaning, from we had the artists. They were sort of involved at the very beginning with the application process, and then we did selections, and the artists were then invited to a kickoff event, and after that we scheduled a couple days for them to paint. And throughout that process, people could walk up to them, ask them questions, could sort of comment on how they were doing it or what the inspiration was. And that was so fantastic because we saw numerous times people engaging the various artists.
Now, was there any kind of negative reception to that project?
Yeah, there were a few things. I mean, there were a couple of instances where there were some people disagreed with sort of the subject matter or the content, or their interpretation of the content, I should say. And so, you do your best to try to mitigate those things. But again, you can't please everybody. We do our best, and I think every time something like that came up, we did our best to open up a dialogue, inform both positions about why that happened, and make it a learning process. And so we're going to do the same thing with another 21 Boxes. We're going to do our best to learn from the past, apply it, and hopefully mitigate any future issues.
Yeah. So how did it come up to kind of do this next iteration of the project then?
I think a lot of it was from such positive feedback from the first round of 21 Boxes, and there's still a lot more electrical boxes out there, so that makes it a possibility.
I like how you mentioned that there are still canvases, right? There's still at least 21 more boxes out there. So maybe what would you say the kind of goal of this project in particular is, and how would you say that fits in with kind of the larger goal of the PAC?
I think one of the words we use quite a bit in describing this project is transformation. And that's not just the transformation of the boxes, but it's the transformation of your sort of relationship to art and to the things in your environment. And so one of the comments that we got quite a bit was how this project really forced people to see their environment very differently and to embrace those objects very, very differently. And another 21 Boxes is just an example of how once you see art in this way, in this capacity, it changes everything about your relationship to the things in your environment and what can and can't be considered a canvas. And that's a very empowering thing.
So if we're thinking about this 21 Boxes project, it's coming up, where can people get more information about how to maybe submit ideas, how to participate?
Well, the Public Art Committee's got a website on the Ithaca City website, so you can go there to find an application. There are also numerous support groups on Facebook where you can find information. There's the IPA, the Ithaca is for Public Art. They're kind of helping to support some of the things that we do.
And there's also a 21 Boxes Facebook page.
So if you are interested in participating in the next iteration of the 21 Boxes project, that is definitely something you can check out. And again, I've been speaking with Samantha Hillson and Jason Otero about the second of who knows how many iterations of the 21 Boxes project. Samantha and Jason, thank you so much for joining me this evening.
Thank you very much. It was our pleasure.